Welcome back to the Gentleman Grochowski Show, and we're backstage, and we happen to have two great guests here. We've got Ron Hicks and J.R. Reynolds. Ron Hicks is the owner of the Chicago Steam, which is an ABA basketball league, and one of his star players right here is J.R. Reynolds. Ron, you tell us a little bit about the ABA basketball league.
The ABA Basketball League, of course, started back in 1968 when they had greats like Dr. J, Iceman Gervin, George, David Thompson, Artis Gilmore, Rick Barry, and those guys there. It's a league that's got the red, white, and blue ball, which they still use for the NBA All-Star game, which is the money ball. The Steam started in the league in 2007. We've been here ever since then. We have been to the finals 7 out of 11 years. We also have been to China 5 times. And we have sent at least 50 guys to Europe to play professional basketball and about 25 girls. So the train's still rolling.
Okay, can you tell us more about the league? You said it was in 1968 it started?
Yep.
And some of the great National Basketball League players played on your league.
Yes, they did. A lot of Hall of Famers in the NBA, Hall of Fame. Yep.
And how was the transition for them to go from the ABA to the NBA?
Interesting story because, Dr. J was really the pioneer of going to the NBA. I mean, Red Auerbach pretty much made it his will to destroy the NBA, the ABA in order for them to get Dr. J over to Boston. It didn't work out like that because the Virginia Squire sold him over to the New Jersey Nets, and then the Nets sold him over to Philly. So Dr. J was the pioneer behind everything the ABA getting to the NBA. Matter of fact, everywhere he went in the ABA, it sold out.
Okay. And how come it didn't have the appeal as the NBA? Is there any specific reason?
Finance.
Yeah.
I think most of the players were promised X amount of dollars, and they wasn't getting those dollars, and so then that's where they started the trading players. I think the St. Louis Spears of the ABA has the most interesting story of all ABA teams because there's four ABA teams that's in the NBA right now. St. Louis Spears could have been one of them, but he decided to say, I'm going to take in perpetuity when they started to get TV contracts, because there wasn't no NBA TV back in those days. So he gets 3% of every ABA team that's in the NBA right now for the rest of their lives.
That's not a bad deal.
Wow.
So those guys are 80-some years old.
Right.
And they still getting paid.
Getting some
the
money.
Pacers,
money.
The Nuggets, the San Antonio Spurs, and the New Jersey Nets, they're getting paid for them. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So it's an interesting story. You Google the Spirit of St. Louis, and the whole story comes up.
And the early day of the basketball league, it was more exciting than the NBA, right?
Oh, very much like because you had the Afro was going on. You had the high-flying guys. You had the guys that was athletic. NBA didn't have no athletic guys. They only had guys like Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain. They didn't have them. They had, you had Dr. J, you had Connie Hawkins, you had Iceman Gervin, you had David Thompson, all these guys who was high risers that, the NBA had never saw anything like Dr. J until he got there. They had never saw somebody with an Afro taking off at the free throw line. So he created a whole different atmosphere in the NBA.
Okay. Now, JR, what position you play?
I play point guard. I play point guard. Sorry about that.
No problem. And you tell us about your experience with the ABA so far.
My experience with the ABA, well, I got to the ABA last year in March, and shortly after I got there, we were at the finals, actually. And we actually lost that game, but a month later, we regrouped, got back together, and we was off to China, so competing against the national Chinese team that actually played in the Olympics.
Yeah. And that's got to be exciting to go overseas and play basketball, huh?
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was definitely a beautiful experience playing with the children, going to different colleges, meeting different people from different cultures and different backgrounds who look at the game differently than we do. So it's definitely a great experience.
Now, is it true they don't have fortune cookies in China? Is that true? Did you see any fortune cookies?
I didn't see that. That's a good question. I never heard of that.
I think it's an American thing that they decided to make up there.
Yeah, it's a good idea. They need to take it over there.
But Ron, can you tell us about growing up in Aurora?
I came to Aurora from Mississippi.
Okay.
And I moved there during the era where everybody was moving up from the South to come to Aurora, 1969. Shout out to my parents, Dolores and Matthew Hicks,
all right,
for bringing me up here. I got to Aurora, wasn't a basketball player, was a baseball and a football guy. And I never forget the first time I went and I shot in the wrong basket. And every kid looked at me like I was crazy.
The wrong basket?
The wrong basket.
Wrong basket.
Even Party could shoot the right basket.
In the wrong basket.
At times.
And I was in 7th grade, and I got roasted and bullied the whole 9 yards. But I took that energy, and by the time I got to be a freshman in high school, I was the best freshman in that whole Fox Valley area.
Yeah.
So I took that negativity that everybody told me I couldn't do it. So I ended up being, one of the stars at West Aurora. I'm in the Hall of Fame there. Shout out to West Aurora.
All right.
Blackhawks the rest of my life. And I got a chance to, grow up in a community where it was safe. There was a diversity of people.
Right.
Most of my friends were not black. Most of the school wasn't black. But I learned a lot about cultures by being there. And I went from West Aurora down to Kishwaukee College. Shout out to Kishwaukee College because I'm in the Hall of Fame there too. So I left there and went to NIU, played my years there, and then I went to Europe and played for 14 years. So that West Aurora experience taught me how to live around different cultures when I got over to Europe.
Oh, very, very good. And then tell us about the Chicago Steams going to China.
We've been to China. This will be our 5th time.
Okay.
The first time we went was 2010. And I think 2010, 2011, we had a good 10, then went back to 13, and then went back again in 16. I think it's been a great experience to go to China. I think it gave my team something that most ABA teams don't have, to leave the country as a team and go over there and compete. And, JR and the whole team was there for a month and a half last time that I felt like was a long thing, but I think they learned a whole lot. They played against the national team, and they almost beat them.
And the team that was in the Olympics.
The Olympics,
and the Olympics is that's the best of the best, basically, right?
Yes,
as far as
yes.
anything goes, athletic goes. Now, Ryan, how far did you go with basketball or sports? You said you played baseball.
I went and I tell JR this story of me all my. I mean, shout out again to my mama. I was that kid that was in college, didn't get a lot of playing time. So when I got out of college, I decided that I'm gonna give this one last shot. So my mother came to me and said, if you want to go to LA and play in the summer league, I'll get you out there. So I got to LA and played in the summer league, played good, enough to make a summer league team. And from there, I got a job in France. And so I went to France my first year, living in Paris. Shout out to Paris, because I think that 21 years old, living in Paris was something special to me.
Yeah.
And I got a chance to meet guys like Miles Davis, Pat LaBelle, Tina Turner while I was there. And I took that career and I played 14 years. I played in France, I played in Belgium, I played in Holland, and then I played in Sweden.
And that's the beauty of the basketball is there's a league there.
Yes.
And you were able you were able to have a living and have a career out of something you love, even though if you weren't able to do it here, there was still somewhere else you can do it at.
I remember the first time I got my first paycheck. I was making $2,800 in France, which is a lot of money in French francs. And when they gave it to me, the money was so big, I was like, this got to be monopoly money. This can't be real money. But when I went to spend it spent like everything else. So shout out again to France.
And you can tell us more about the people if they want to come see the games. Where are the games at? Is
The
there a
games
website?
The website is ChicagoSteamBasketball.com. We play at South Suburban College. Shout out to South Suburban College and Coach P, because we've been there for 11 years now. They have been terrific with us in all atmosphere. And we'll start playing in October, and then we go all the way into April of next year.
And you'll be in the finals in April.
We're going to be in the finals
There
again.
you go, 'cause you
Shout out, and I said that.
Yeah.
I promise you we're going to be in them finals again.
Because you've done it before. How many times the last how many 5 years? How many times?
7 times in 11 years.
There you go. I'd say that Party loves to play lottery. Was that a good number, 7-11?
Oh, man, that's perfect. Perfection, Larry.
What do you think about some of the kids that are, JR, some of the kids that, young kids growing up, they want to play basketball. Tell us about your route to get to where you're at.
Well, for me, my route was I was a kid. I moved around a lot, but to get to the Chicago Steam, actually before I was in the military.
Okay.
I'm a disabled veteran.
Oh, okay.
So prior to me playing with this team, that was my first professional team playing since I tried to play for the military, but I got hurt jumping out of planes and I couldn't walk. Okay. So that definitely slowed a lot of it down. But
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you. No problem. But it was before that, I played high school and I attempted to play for college, but the route that I chose was the military and college that way. But like I said, once I got hurt there and I couldn't walk, it was just a mental block at that point in my life where, my number one priority was trying to be able to walk again.
Right. That's the most important thing. You take things like that for granted. Would you say, Party?
Yes, I would, yeah.
Certain things people do, we all take for granted.
Yeah.
And when you can't do it, you realize how lucky we are. Yeah. Even though people complain about the darndest things, just walking is a great gift.
Yeah, and I definitely learned that fast when I couldn't. So.
Yeah. And then tell us about the position you play on the team.
Well, I play point guard right now on the team. It took me a while to get here, but I had a lot of great players that play on the team right now, like the Andre Muse, the Bobby Greers. We got the Mike McCalls. We got the Mitchell Andersons. A lot of great players before me actually helped me learn what I need to do to excel in the position that I play, because I was fresh out the military and still learning to be able to run again once I came to the team. So once I was able to actually do that, I had those guys in my corner helping me throughout the way. So it's been a beautiful experience.
And can you tell us something maybe that we heard about your military background and your disability. Tell us anything else about yourself that people don't know.
I probably work out maybe 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
Train.
Not me. Partee. What about you, Partee?
I work out about once a month.
There you go. I think
Boss ain't getting no wig on them wings, man. Ain't getting no wig on them wings.
Cause I
Look out now.
I believe I can fly. So
There you go.
you know I can't deny.
There you go.
And what inspirational songs do you have? If you're working out all the time, you got to keep yourself inspired. What's on your iPad?
Well, I do music myself, so if I'm not on
You
there,
do music yourself?
Yeah.
You're holding out on us, Partee.
sorry
He does his
about
own music.
Oh man, you gotta let us know about what's on the CD.
Oh, well, it's in the works. So once I get it, I'll definitely
Just
bring
like
you
Puffy,
back
man.
for the second interview.
He's just like Puffy, man.
Oh man, hey,
He getting it in, bro.
we talking to
Special delivery.
Did you know
Getting
that,
it in,
Ryan?
baby. Getting it
Ryan,
in.
did you know that?
Oh
He's a
yeah, he's
singer?
like Puffy. That's my Puffy right
What?
here, bro. Yeah, that's my Puffy right
He
here.
could sing the national anthem, huh?
Yes,
there
he
you
You
go.
could do that, huh?
Yeah, I
you
could
go.
do
Would
that.
you like to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be kind of
Most
cool.
definitely, yeah.
And what's your favorite sports movie?
Sports movie.
I would say it'd be Space Jam, right?
Hey, there we go. That's
how about-
starring Michael Jordan,
There you
Bugs
go.
Bunny. Space Jam.
don't
You
forget
win.
about He Got Game.
Don't forget about semi-pro now.
Man, you got Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny.
Oh, that's right.
Don't forget about semi-pro.
Semi-pro, yeah.
Don't forget about semi-pro now.
Hey, that's a good one too.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
And Partee, you got any other questions you want to ask these fine gentlemen?
Yes, just to let me know, because I've been wondering for years, because I'm a little not keen with the history. What does ABA stand for again?
American basketball.
That's right, American Basketball.
Association.
And also, one more question. You said there were 4 teams currently in the NBA.
They played in the ABA. Yeah.
And let me make sure I got them right. I think you said San Antonio Spurs, Denver Nuggets. What's the other 2?
Indiana Pacers
Oh, and the Pacers.
and New Jersey Nets.
New Jersey Nets. That's
Not
what
the Nets.
Yeah, the Nets. The same team they're now currently in Brooklyn. I believe. Because they moved to Brooklyn, right?
They moved to Brooklyn now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So you got a question about my advice.
Yeah, let's tell us about your advice to all the young kids out there. You read minds.
I read
You
mine.
read
Yeah.
minds,
I read
everybody.
real good. I mean, I paid attention in school. Now I got a bachelor's and a master's now. Okay, shout out to that school too. My thing about advice to players is that you got to be a pro. And when I mean you got to be a pro, you have to come to these programs and you have to do what the program tells you to do. You can't come starting madness or nightmares with any program. You got to come there and you got to be a pro. And my advice to all kids that want to pursue professional basketball, listen. That's the first thing I was told when I tried out for any team. You got to listen. I don't care if it's in French, Swedish, Italian. You got to listen. And if you don't understand it, ask somebody. And I think that if you want to be a pro, what I was taught by my coaches, that come to practice on time, pay attention to detail, have good time management, and be willing to put in the work that you should put into. And if you're not going to do that, don't come into these programs or in the job complex and don't do what you're supposed to do. So my advice to kids, be a pro. And it's hard to be a pro when you got so many other things around. Yeah. But you got to be a pro. Yeah. And if you'll be a pro, then no matter if you're doing music or my man back there on the camera, you got to be a pro with this. And that's my advice to all kids that want to play professional basketball. It's the same thing as anything else in life. You got to be able to be a pro.
Yeah. Okay, well, you heard it from right here. This gentleman knows about a little thing about being pro because he's done it. And you could do it too. And you can go to chicagosteam.com.
Yeah, can we get some shout-outs?
Sure.
I'm going to get a shout-out to Andre Muse. I'm going to get a shout-out to Mitchell Anderson. I'm going to get a shout-out to Big Mitchell Anderson. I'm going to give a shout-out to Willie Scott. These 2 guys have been great coaches. I'm going to give a shout-out to the CEO of the ABA, Joe Newman. And I'm going to give a shout-out to all my brothers and sisters, and my son, Caleb, and my daughter, Tiffany.
All right.
All right, sounds good. All right, chicagosteam.com. You can find out more about these guys. And this is the Gentleman Grochowski Show. And we're backstage.
All right.
All right.
It's a Gentleman Grochowski Show. Everybody, don't you know? It's a Gentleman Grochowski Show. Everybody, don't you know? It's the Gentleman Grochowski Show. Everybody, don't you know? It's the Gentleman Grochowski Show.